So by now, we all know that FBI Director James Comey has decided to not recommend an indictment to the Justice Department in the Hillary Clinton email investigation. And furthermore, the Justice Department has confirmed that they will not, in fact, be indicting her. So what's missing there is intent. Since Hillary Clinton did not intend on distributing classified information, well, then she is not guilty. But this isn't necessarily proof that Hillary Clinton is innocent, more so than it's proof that we live in a two-tier justice system where the rules and the laws apply only to the poor and they don't apply to the rich and the powerful. Case in point, in 2015, a naval reservist named Brian Nishimura also mishandled classified information. So according to the FBI, Nishimura had access to classified briefings and digital records that could only be retained and viewed on authorized government computers. Nishimura, however, caused the materials to be downloaded and stored on his personal, unclassified electronic devices and storage media. He carried such classified materials on his unauthorized media when he traveled off base in Afghanistan and ultimately carried those materials back to the United States at the end of his deployment. In the United States, Nishimura continued to maintain the information on unclassified systems in unauthorized locations and copied the materials onto at least one additional unauthorized and unclassified system. Nishimura's actions came to light in early 2012 when he admitted to naval personnel that he had handled classified materials inappropriately. Nishimura later admitted that, following his statement to naval personnel, he destroyed a large quantity of classified materials he had maintained in his home. Despite that, when the Federal Bureau of Investigation searched Nishimura's home in May 2012, agents recovered numerous classified materials in digital and hard copy forms. The investigation did not reveal evidence that Nishimura intended to distribute classified information to unauthorized personnel. I'm going to read that last part again. The investigation did not reveal evidence that Nishimura intended to distribute classified information to unauthorized personnel. So there are many parallels here between this and the Hillary Clinton case. Was he extremely careless? Sure, you can say that. He destroyed a large quantity of classified materials, same like Hillary Clinton deleted thousands of emails. He also mishandled classified information by storing it on devices that weren't secure, and like Hillary Clinton, he did not intend to distribute classified information. So the question is, what happened to Brian Nishimura? Well, not only was it recommended that he be indicted, but he was indicted, and he was prosecuted and charged. So he was put on probation for 2 years, and he was fined $7,500. So by not recommending an indictment of Hillary Clinton, this illustrates that, guilt, it doesn't necessarily matter so much as your status does. Because if you are Hillary Clinton, you can mishandle information that's classified, that's fine. But if you're just a peasant, if you're a naval reservist, well, if you're extremely careless, then we're going to have to prosecute you. You're going to be put on probation for 2 years and fined. Again, we live in a two-tier justice system. Now, The Intercept explains, when it comes to low-level government employees with no power, the Obama administration has purposely prosecuted them as harshly as possible to the point of vindictiveness. It has notoriously prosecuted more individuals under the Espionage Act of 1917 for improperly handling classified information than all previous administrations combined. NSA whistleblower Tom Drake, for instance, faced years in prison and ultimately had his career destroyed based on the Obama DOJ's claims that he mishandled classified information. It included information that was not formally classified at the time, but was retroactively decreed to be such. Less than 2 weeks ago, a naval reservist was convicted and sentenced for mishandling classified military materials, despite no evidence he intended to distribute them. Last year, a naval officer was convicted of mishandling classified information, also in the absence of any intent to distribute it. Now, additionally, Shammai Leibowitz was given 20 months in prison for sharing FBI documents to a blogger that he believed showed a violation of the law. Just last month, Petty Officer First Class Christian Saucier pled guilty to taking cell phone pictures inside a classified engine room on a nuclear sub, and while no public suggestion has been made that he ever planned to disclose the photos to anyone outside the Navy, he could face up to 30 years in prison, though the prosecution will likely pursue a shorter sentence. Now, this double standard is something that Hillary Clinton, like Obama, also applies to others, but not the rich and the powerful, and certainly not herself, because Hillary Clinton previously talked about the sanctity of protecting classified information. She said, "I think that in an age where so much information is flying through cyberspace, we all have to be aware of the fact that some information which is sensitive, which does affect the security of individuals and relationships, deserves to be protected, and we will continue to take necessary steps to do so." So here's the thing. I'm not talking about this because I believe we should have a witch hunt against Hillary Clinton. Sure, I disagree with her politically. Yes, I would rather have Bernie Sanders be the nominee. But this is really, really important. As Debbie Lesignan, the sane progressive, said, this is bigger than Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. This is whether or not we're going to have two types of justice systems, one for the rich and one for the poor. And by not prosecuting Hillary Clinton, we are proving that we do, in fact, hold richer people to a lower level of scrutiny, if any scrutiny at all, than poor people. So here's what we have to do. Either we will indict and prosecute people who mishandle classified information, or we're not going to do that. We can't have two different standards. We can't say, well, we'll apply the law to the poor but not the rich. That's unacceptable. So since Hillary Clinton is not going to be indicted, we also have to release and pardon anyone who was also guilty of mishandling or releasing classified information. So since Hillary Clinton is getting away scot-free, then Chelsea Manning, Edward Snowden, they all have to be given a pardon. Edward Snowden should be allowed to come back to the US, and Chelsea Manning should be released from prison, because even though they did have the intent to release classified information, they were doing it to the benefit of the American public. It was a public good. They sacrificed their freedom and destroyed their careers and their lives for the public good. Hillary Clinton mishandled classified information because she wanted to skirt transparency and didn't want FOIA requests applying to her personal email server. So either we are going to lock up Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning and Hillary Clinton, or we're going to release all of them. But the point is that we can't have two tiers of justice. Either you're going to apply the laws to everyone equally, or you're not.